Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Penny Podcast. My name is Camila Villarreal. I'm a sophomore and a staff writer for the Sidekick newspaper.
Hi, my name is Akansha Singh. I am a junior and a staff writer for Sidekick.
I'm Kelly Way. I am a senior. I am the editor-in-chief.
All right, and if you're new to us here, the Penny Podcast is a weekly hybrid podcast that incorporates elements of interview and conversation with rotating hosts. And today's guest is
Kirti, Chamkura, and I'm a sophomore.
All right, so we'll start off with our headline rundown. Our first story comes from our very own Sidekick advisor, Mr. Wofford. Last week was Scholastic Journalism Week, and he wrote a story called In His Element, Newsroom Captures Heart of Sidekick Advisor.
So this story is actually one of several SJW stories that came out this week, and we just basically had a lot of really great articles from staffers kind of talking about, why they love journalism and, why they're so passionate about what they do.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting touch to have, the Sidekick advisor talk about his journey to journalism. That's pretty cool. It's pretty inspirational. Mm-hmm. All right. And our second story comes from
our Sidekick sports editor, Nick Pranske, who wrote a Coppell Observer piece entitled, Sorry, I Had My AirPods In. The Coppell Observer is a humorous weekly column about life as a teenager.
All right, and the AirPods have recently been hitting the internet. I've seen a lot of memes about how it kind of represents wealth amongst youth. I personally think AirPods are actually pretty cool. They're very extra. And when I first saw them, I was like, why? But would you invest in AirPods?
I don't know if I would. I think I like the idea of having wireless headphones, but AirPods, I feel like I would lose them. I definitely feel like I would lose them.
They're a little pricey too. I don't know. I feel like you could get wireless headphones that aren't for
that pricey,
way
right?
less. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's funny because I remember when they first came out, everyone was like, "This is so ridiculous. Like no one would ever want them. Like you'll lose them," because we were like all used to the normal ones. But now it's like this whole thing.
Right.
Okay, so it's time for our new segment, This Week in Music.
So Ariana Grande has claimed the top 3 spots on the Billboard chart, beating a record that was held in the tight grip of the Beatles up until now.
And Hozier's Wasteland Baby album is set to release on March 1st.
And taking this back a little bit, today in 1983, Michael Jackson's Thriller took the #1 spot on the U.S. album chart. Thriller broke racial barriers in pop music, and the album became the most successful album of all time, with sales over 65 million copies.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no,
I still listen
so
to Michael
cool.
Jackson.
I have it. My dad bought it for me, and I was so excited. The album it's priceless in history.
Right.
Okay, so time for interviewing our very special guest, Kelly.
So how did you first get started in your singing career? Would you say it was something that, your parents helped you set up, or did you actively seek out opportunities on your own?
My parents were both really interested in music because my mom never got the chance to learn it when she was younger, and my brother was very sporty when he was growing up, so it's safe to say that they pushed all their musical dreams onto me. But then I ended up really liking it, and I went to classes and I took dance classes as well, but I never really enjoyed anything as much as I enjoyed singing.
So you currently take lessons?
Yes.
And where? What kind of lessons?
So I'm basically a part of a gig company called Septian, and so basically through your company you can be introduced to agents and various marketing opportunities, and then every weekend or so you get to perform at little coffee shops and restaurants just so that you can get small tips here and there, and also it's just really fun to do it with your friends.
That's nice. Where have you performed?
So we perform a lot at Love Field Airport and a lot in Deep Ellum, even though that place is kind of sketchy. And and basically if you go into any kind of indie hipster coffee shop anywhere around downtown, they're pretty open to you playing there, once a week or twice.
Oh, nice. So what kind of, do you write music?
I do, yes.
Okay, what kind?
I've been playing piano for about 8 years now, so that helps with songwriting, and I like to focus on R&B soul type of music.
Oh, that's so pretty. I love that genre.
I love R&B too. Do you ever Do you ever feel like you would like to branch out into another genre, or are you pretty comfortable with R&B?
I think that it's always good to step out of your comfort zone. I think that along with me being better at R&B soul type of things, it's also something I naturally really enjoy. So I think that like Ariana Grande is like a perfect example. She was really like soulful when she first started. She started off into like Disney and like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. But now she's like turning into like rap and stuff. So I think that like it's good to be good at everything and be comfortable with everything, but eventually you can find your niche.
And do you play any instruments?
I do. I play the piano and I played the oboe for a little bit, but I'm not super good at it.
And do you ever get tired of living this like performer's life?
I think sometimes it's not even like me getting tired, it's just it gets really stressful. And so I feel like sometimes like with all the things I have to manage between school and like social life, it seems that it's not that important to me in terms of like other things. But no, I feel like I've never gotten tired of it just because there's always something new going on in music and it's never the same.
Okay, how long have you been singing?
I've been singing for about 7 years now.
Okay, and are you involved in like the school choir or anything?
I am. I'm in women's varsity choir, and then next year I hope to try out for acapella.
Okay, so just like kind of between the like your choir commitments, and then also like you said like you had that outside gig. Like I really liked what you said about how it's like there's always something new because like. I would assume, like, do you perform, like, different types of music between those two groups?
Yes. So, choral singing is, like, really, like, I guess more technical than, like, pop music would be, obviously. And I'm also trained in, like, Indian classical singing, so, like, part of my gigs is also that. So, I think it's good to, like, do everything, though, and, like, even, like, that helps you find who you are as an artist, what your genre might be, and stuff like that. You just have to try everything to know what you really like.
And would you say that, for music, is there any kind of, like, competitive edge towards, like, what you do? So do you guys, like, have award season, competition season, or?
Definitely. So we have something called band night at our gig program, and basically that's where you take a song that's assigned to you and you change it in a way that's really different than what it originally was presented as, and you can add like your own lyrics, your own beat, whatever you feel makes the song better or more interesting in your opinion, and you get like money and stuff like that, but also you get to meet a lot of like crazy people and travel. And I feel like for us, our main like goal is to just like not really money, but just to like gain more experience. So that's like the sort of competitive side to it.
And how far do you plan to take this like career that you have?
I'm a pretty like practical person, so I think that like I have like a lot of interest in science and stuff like that. So like maybe that's like my career. But definitely in college, it's not something I want to give up. Like maybe like some small groups on the side, or maybe minor in music, especially because like the piano exams I'm taking right now go towards college credit, so that I'm allowed to take like more advanced classes for music theory when I get there. So maybe when it's like all said and done, like a school for like music or like singing, because like that would be like one of the things that I would love to do in the long run.
I see. I can kind of empathize with that too, having multiple interests, because I also play the violin outside of school, and it's definitely not something I'd want to give up as I go to college, but then again, I'm not sure if I would want to major in music, so it's all about finding that balance.
Right.
Yeah, and can you sing something for us?
Okay. I'm trying to think. I feel like this is like the worst question to ask a singer. What's your favorite song? I don't know. There's too many. Okay. Oh, I'll sing the song I sang in my Instagram video that I posted. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Oh my god, that was great.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, you definitely have a talent for that, and I love like watching people sing and knowing that they love it. That's something that's beautiful to like experience. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to our hosts Kelly and Akansha, our special guest Kirti. That was so beautiful. Thank you for joining us in this 6th episode of the Penny Podcast. All links to the articles talked about will be provided in the description box below. And make sure to join us next Thursday for another installment of the Penny Podcast. Bye!